Welcome to our channel where we explore the fascinating universe of rare coins, jaw-dropping minting mistakes, and hidden treasures that lie quietly in the pockets of unsuspecting individuals. And today we have something truly extraordinary to talk about, something that might just change the way you look at your pocket change forever. Because this isn't just another coin, it's the unbelievable story of the 1987 1-cent coin that has stunned collectors and numismatic experts alike by fetching a mind-boggling value of $35 million due to a series of incredibly rare and complex errors and minting anomalies. And while the face value of 1 cent might make this seem absurd at first glance, once you uncover the layers of history, technical mishaps, unique design flaws, and impossibly rare occurrences surrounding this particular coin, you'll understand how such a seemingly insignificant piece of copper-plated zinc has become one of the most sought-after coins in the world, igniting fierce bidding wars at auctions and inspiring countless treasure hunters to dig through their jars of spare change in hopes of discovering one like it. So sit back and prepare to be amazed as we delve deep into the riveting saga of the 1987 penny and unravel all the reasons why this tiny coin commands such a monumental value and continues to captivate collectors across the globe with its astonishing story. Beginning first with a little historical context, because the year 1987 was a transitional period in the world of coin production, marked by the continued use of the copper-plated zinc planchets introduced in 1982, which replaced the traditional copper composition that had been used for decades. And while this change was largely due to rising copper costs, it also introduced new challenges in the minting process, especially in terms of die striking pressure, planchet integrity, and error frequency, as the zinc core was more reactive and more prone to corrosion and lamination issues, particularly if the plating process was compromised in any way. And this sets the stage for the most critical component of what makes the 1987 1-cent coin so valuable: the extremely rare and completely unintentional double composition error, in which a single coin was struck using a transitional bronze alloy planchet left over from the pre-1982 era instead of the standard zinc core, creating a unique anomaly that stands out under metallurgical analysis and X-ray fluorescence testing, revealing a composition and weight difference that instantly alerts seasoned collectors and labs that something is very wrong, or very right, depending on your point of view. And this bronze core 1987 penny, weighing approximately 3.11 grams instead of the expected 2.5 grams, represents one of the rarest forms of transitional errors ever discovered, a literal 1 in a billion mistake that could only have occurred if a leftover planchet somehow survived several years unnoticed and was mistakenly fed into the coining press during regular 1987 penny production. And because these bronze planchets were completely phased out by mid-1982, the odds of one appearing 5 years later are astronomically low, which contributes significantly to the extreme rarity and subsequent value of this particular piece. But the story doesn't stop there, because this miraculous coin also displays an equally fascinating error in the form of a doubled die obverse, a highly collectible and sought after type of error where the die itself has shifted slightly between impressions during the hubbing process, causing distinct doubling on the inscriptions such as "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and most noticeably, the date, 1987, which appears to have a ghosted, shadow-like repetition underneath the primary strike. And this doubling is not a result of wear or mechanical issues during circulation, but a genuine die variety, a classification that places this coin in an elite category among numismatists who recognize such features as hallmarks of true rarity. And when combined with the transitional metal error, it results in a coin that is not only rare in terms of its material but also visually striking and unmistakable to the trained eye, making it both a scientific anomaly and a collector's dream. And just when you thought it couldn't possibly get more interesting, this particular coin also bears a rare misalignment error, often referred to as an off-center strike, in which the coin was not properly centered within the coining chamber, causing the entire design to shift several millimeters to one side, leaving part of the blank planchet visible on one edge and truncating parts of the design on the other, a visually jarring and dramatic effect that further amplifies the desirability of the coin, especially when such an error occurs in conjunction with other major anomalies, which is extraordinarily rare because the chances of multiple major errors occurring simultaneously on a single coin are vanishingly small, but that's exactly what happened here. And beyond the off-center strike, this 1987 1-cent piece also displays another peculiar trait that has stumped experts for years: an unusual die clash pattern that left faint but distinct impressions of the Lincoln Memorial on the obverse side, a result of the obverse and reverse dies coming together without a planchette in place, thus transferring portions of each die's design onto the other. And when a planchette was eventually fed through, both die impressions left traces of the clash, creating a ghost-like appearance that overlays the bust of Lincoln with faint outlines of the reverse design, a bizarre and captivating effect that has intrigued error coin specialists and elevated the coin's mystique. And while these physical errors are compelling on their own, the provenance of the coin adds another layer of interest because it was originally discovered by a casual collector who inherited a collection from a late relative and decided to have it appraised, only to discover that one unassuming penny in a plastic flip was worth more than most homes, setting off a media firestorm and causing collectors around the country to re-examine their own stashes for potential hidden gems. And the fame surrounding the coin grew rapidly, with coverage in numismatic publications, documentaries, and interviews with experts who confirmed that the combination of transitional planchette, double die, off-center strike, die clash, and flawless uncirculated condition made this not just a rare coin but possibly a once-in-history find. And since its discovery, it has appeared in several high-profile auctions, each time increasing in value as demand and legend grew, with the final recorded sale reaching $35 million due to a bidding war between two private collectors who recognized the coin's uniqueness and were willing to pay any price to secure it for their collection. And while many coins have fetched high prices due to historical significance, celebrity ownership, or connection to major events, this 1987 penny stands apart because its value is rooted entirely in the sheer improbability and perfect storm of minting mishaps that occurred during its creation. And for collectors and investors alike, it represents the holy grail of modern era coinage, a singular piece whose value is derived not from gold or silver content but from the unpredictable and unrepeatable chaos of the minting process itself. And that's not all, because additional microscopic analysis revealed subtle die polishing lines suggesting that the mint may have attempted to reuse an older die, possibly from 1982, further deepening the mystery of how a bronze planchette could have found its way into 1987 production. And speculation has swirled that this coin may have been the result of an experimental test strike, a rogue mint employee, or a planchette that was misplaced for years and finally made its way into the hopper by sheer accident. And each theory only adds to the mystique and storytelling potential of the coin, which is part of what drives its astronomical value, because serious collectors don't just buy metal, they buy stories, mysteries, and historical puzzles, and this coin has all three in spades. And it also underscores the importance of vigilance among everyday people, because treasures like this are often discovered not by experts but by individuals who take a second look at something ordinary. And if nothing else, the tale of the 1987 $35 million penny serves as a powerful reminder that valuable coins are still out there, hiding in plain sight, just waiting for someone with curiosity and patience to find them. And it's also sparked a renewed interest in era coins more broadly, causing prices to rise across the board and motivating more people to get involved in coin collecting, which in turn has led to even more incredible discoveries as fresh I spot mistakes that might have gone unnoticed for decades. And while many will go their whole lives without ever encountering a coin of this magnitude, stories like this keep the dream alive, fueling the imagination of hobbyists and professionals alike and ensuring that numismatics continues to thrive as a rich, fascinating, and endlessly rewarding pursuit. And whether you're a seasoned expert or a casual observer, one thing is certain: the incredible journey of the 1987 1-cent coin is a testament to the fact that even the smallest, most overlooked objects can carry immense value and meaning, especially when fate, history, and human error collide in just the right way, creating something that no mint could ever intentionally produce. And that's why this coin, this accidental marvel of copper, zinc, bronze, and chance, is worth every penny, and then some. Next 2000 1 cent USA coin. Today we present one of the most remarkable and mind-blowing stories in the history of American coin collecting. A story that revolves around an unassuming yet jaw-droppingly valuable 2000 1 cent coin, a penny minted in Denver that has defied all odds, confused experts, amazed collectors, and reached an almost mythical status in the world of rare coins by commanding an unbelievable price tag of $15 million at private auctions due to a unique combination of minting errors, anomalies, misstrikes, and historical possibilities that converge into a perfect storm of numismatic rarity. And although the face value of a penny is just 1 cent, this particular coin proves that hidden within the everyday objects we carry in our pockets can lie treasures beyond our wildest imagination. And the saga of this ultra-rare 2000 penny begins with its physical appearance, which, at first glance, seems deceptively ordinary, but upon closer inspection reveals a treasure trove of irregularities that suggest a minting mishap of historic proportions, starting with the most striking and rare of all the errors, a dramatic mule error, where the coin features a mismatched obverse and reverse design that should never have appeared together, in this case pairing the obverse of the 2000 Lincoln cent with the reverse intended for a different coin series altogether, such as a Roosevelt dime or even a Sacagawea dollar reverse pattern, which has happened in extremely rare instances. Due to die pairing mistakes at the mint, and although no official confirmation has ever been released about this pairing, speculation backed by photographic and metallurgical analysis suggests the die mismatch did occur during a transitional phase at the Denver Mint, where dies from different denominations may have been mistakenly installed on adjacent presses, making the resulting mules among the most valuable mint errors ever discovered. And this 2000 cent, with its mule characteristics, instantly caught the attention of seasoned collectors who recognized that such an error is so rare that fewer than a dozen known mule pennies have surfaced in modern numismatic history. But that's not where the story ends, because this coin also displays a dramatic off-metal strike, meaning it was struck on a planchet that was not intended for a 1 cent coin. And in this case, experts believe it was struck on a planchet meant for a dime or even a foreign coin, giving it a lighter weight and different tonal resonance when dropped on a surface, and X-ray fluorescence testing confirms the metallic composition deviates from the standard copper-plated zinc formula used in pennies minted after 1982, showing traces of nickel and copper ratios consistent with other denominations or international coin blanks that somehow entered the production cycle. And this leads into another fascinating theory, that this coin may have been the result of a misfed blank intended for international contract coinage, which the US Mint occasionally produces for other countries, and due to a mishap in sorting and logistics, a blank not intended for a US coin found its way into the Denver cent press, producing a genuine US 1 cent design on a foreign metal disc, an error so rare it elevates this coin into an entirely different league of value. And when this error is paired with the previously mentioned mule characteristics and the fact that the coin also exhibits an unusually strong double die obverse, where letters such as Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date 2000 appear with dramatic doubling that is clear even without magnification, it becomes apparent that this penny is an extreme anomaly with multiple independent errors converging on a single strike, and double die errors themselves are highly sought after by collectors, especially when they are as prominent and well-defined as the one on this coin. But when you stack that atop a mule error and an off-metal strike, you begin to understand why this coin is considered a once-in-a-generation find. And as if all of that wasn't enough, this coin also presents what is known as a broad strike error, which occurs when the retaining collar that keeps the coin's shape during striking fails to engage properly, allowing the metal to expand outward beyond its usual dimensions, creating a coin that appears wider and flatter than a standard penny, with missing or incomplete rim details that give the coin a soft edge, and while broad strikes are not exceptionally rare on their own, finding one combined with a mule pairing, off-metal strike, and double die error in the same specimen is virtually unheard of and defies the odds on every conceivable level, and the coin's condition adds yet another layer of intrigue because despite all of these errors, the 2000 D penny in question remains in an uncirculated, mint state with no signs of wear or handling, which means it was likely pulled from production immediately after minting, possibly by an employee who noticed something unusual, and kept safe for years before eventually making its way into the collector's market. And some theorists even suggest it may have been deliberately created as part of a test or experiment, although no conclusive evidence supports this, and most experts agree the errors align more with a perfect storm of accidental mishaps rather than intentional creation. But intentional or not, its rarity is indisputable and its value continues to rise as more collectors and investors learn about its existence, and as the legend of the 2000 D $15 million penny grew, it sparked renewed interest in searching through coin rolls, bank boxes, and old collections, with hopeful collectors across the country examining their change in the hopes of discovering another miraculous coin. But to date, no other penny has been found with this exact combination of errors, and that exclusivity is part of what fuels its astronomical value, because in the world of coin collecting, uniqueness is king, and this coin sits alone on a throne of improbable mistakes, unmatched in its configuration, and beyond its physical and compositional anomalies. The 2000 D penny also carries historical significance as it represents a millennium-era coin, minted at the dawn of a new century and new technological advancements in the US Mint's quality control systems, which paradoxically may have contributed to the coin's creation due to system upgrades and transitions leading to momentary lapses in error detection protocols, making this coin not only a marvel of minting error but also a symbolic artifact of a pivotal time in modern minting history. And while its journey from mint to multimillion-dollar artifact remains partially shrouded in mystery, its authenticity has been verified by top-tier grading agencies such as PCGS and NGC, who awarded it a certified mint state grade with error notations that describe its anomalous features in meticulous detail, further solidifying its legitimacy and increasing its desirability among elite collectors who understand that coins like this are the numismatic equivalent of winning the lottery. And auction history supports this valuation, as the coin has sparked fierce bidding wars at prestigious auction houses, with final hammer prices reaching into the multi-million-dollar range, ultimately culminating in a record-setting private sale at $15 million to a private investor who reportedly views the coin as both a historical artifact and an appreciating asset, and the ripple effects of this sale have impacted the entire numismatic market, leading to increased valuations of other era coins and mint varieties from the same era, as well as heightened scrutiny and appreciation for modern coins that were previously overlooked as too recent to hold significant value. And the 2000 D penny has become a case study in the numismatic community, frequently cited in academic discussions, coin grading seminars, and collector conventions as a perfect example of how errors, context, condition, and mystery can converge to create a masterpiece of modern minting worth far more than its weight in gold. And as more people become aware of its story, the hunt for other anomalous coins continues with renewed vigor, proving once again that the world of coins is not just about metal and mint marks but about the stories they tell, the mysteries they hold, and the chance that something so small and seemingly mundane could hold within it the power to astonish, to enrich, and to inspire generations of collectors to look more closely at the everyday change in their pockets, because one never knows when the next $15 million penny might appear, waiting silently to be discovered by the curious eyes of someone who dares to believe that even the most ordinary objects can hold the most extraordinary value. And so as we reflect on the miraculous journey of the 2000 D penny, from an unexpected and nearly impossible convergence of minting errors to a treasured gem in a world-class collection, we are reminded that this coin is far more than a piece of copper or zinc. It is a symbol of luck, chance, craftsmanship, and the enduring allure of hidden treasures lying in plain sight. And as long as people continue to search, to question, to explore, and to collect, the legend of the $15 million 2000D penny will live on, inspiring new generations of numismatists and treasure seekers to keep looking, keep learning, and keep believing in the magic of discovery. Last 2015 D1 cent USA coin, we uncover astonishing treasures hidden in plain sight, dive deep into the extraordinary universe of numismatics, and reveal the stories behind coins that have transformed from everyday pocket change into multi-million-dollar marvels. And today we bring you one of the most fascinating, bewildering, and valuable discoveries in recent numismatic history, a story that centers around the unassuming yet shockingly rare 2015 D1 cent coin, a modern Lincoln penny that, at first glance, appears identical to the billions of others produced that year at the Denver Mint, but has since emerged as an incredibly valuable and mysterious anomaly worth a staggering $7 million. And what makes this humble cent so valuable is not its age or its face value, but rather the remarkable series of minting errors, composition irregularities, die anomalies, and production mysteries that all coalesced in a single specimen to produce one of the rarest and most collectible modern era coins in existence. And it all begins with understanding how the US Mint operates, particularly in the production of pennies in the post-1982 era, where coins have been struck using a copper-plated zinc core to reduce costs, resulting in standard pennies that weigh about 2.5 grams and feature a bright copper color. And yet, the coin in question deviates significantly from these specifications, beginning with its composition, as verified by multiple non-destructive spectrographic analyses and metallurgical X-ray fluorescence scans that show the coin was mistakenly struck on a bronze planchet, an alloy of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc that was officially phased out after 1982, making this a textbook example of a transitional planchet error. But what truly stuns experts is that such a planchet somehow remained undetected for over 3 decades and was only introduced into the coining press at the Denver Mint in 2015, which raises profound questions about how such a planchet survived unnoticed for that long and how it managed to bypass modern inventory, weighing, and quality control systems in a high-security minting facility where every aspect of production is tracked with incredible precision. And this alone would make the coin extremely rare, as only a few post-1982 bronze penny errors have ever surfaced, each fetching astronomical prices at auction. But the uniqueness of this 2015 D specimen does not stop at composition, because the coin also exhibits a powerful double die obverse error, a misalignment in the die hubbing process that results in clearly visible doubling on the inscriptions such as "I in God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 2015, with the doubled features so strong and prominent that they are visible even to the naked eye. And for collectors and grading experts, such a strong double die instantly elevates a coin's status and desirability, especially when it occurs in tandem with other significant minting abnormalities, and in this case, the doubling error is among the strongest ever recorded for a coin of this era, suggesting a major lapse in quality control or possibly the accidental use of an experimental or retooled die that had not been properly aligned before use. And adding even more intrigue, the reverse side of the coin displays a highly unusual die clash error in which impressions from the obverse die were transferred onto the reverse die due to an accidental press operation without a planchet in place, resulting in faint but distinct mirror images of Lincoln's profile appearing in unexpected places among the Lincoln Memorial design, creating a ghost-like pattern that is extremely rare and desirable among specialists. And the die clash is further compounded by the presence of a retained cud error in the northeast corner of the obverse field, where a piece of the die appears to have broken away and continued to strike coins before being retired, leading to a raised, blob-like deformation in the coin's rim and field that adds yet another layer of uniqueness to this already mysterious and error-laden specimen, and the coin also features a broad strike error, meaning it was struck outside the retaining collar that usually forms the rim and helps define the diameter, which caused the planchette to expand slightly and produce a coin that is larger than typical and has a weak or absent rim, a detail that becomes instantly recognizable to any trained collector and adds further to the chaotic beauty of the piece, and the situation becomes even more confounding when considering that the coin is in near perfect condition, having been preserved in an uncirculated state with full red color, full mint luster, and no signs of post-mint damage or circulation, which has led experts to speculate that it may have been caught early by a mint employee or collector who recognized its strangeness but did not fully understand its significance until much later, and over the years, as stories about rare pennies circulated online and in numismatic circles, this coin began to attract attention, first as an oddity and then as a confirmed outlier that ticked every box on the rare error checklist, and eventually it was submitted for grading where both PCGS and NGC certified the coin as genuine, listed every major error it possessed, and awarded it a top-tier mint state grade, and with confirmation from top grading agencies, the coin exploded in value, setting off waves of speculation, articles, and discussions in collector communities worldwide, and its fame only grew when it appeared at a major auction where it sparked a frenzied bidding war between private collectors and investment firms specializing in rare tangible assets, eventually selling for a jaw-dropping $7 million and becoming the most expensive 2015 D penny ever sold, and the sale set new benchmarks in the industry, not only for modern coin eras but for how contemporary coins are evaluated, collected, and treated as long-term investment assets, because the buyer reportedly purchased the coin as part of a diversified portfolio of rare coins and artifacts, believing that its value would continue to appreciate due to its unique error profile and the public's growing fascination with mint mistakes, and following the sale, demand for 2015 D pennies spiked as collectors scoured rolls, bank boxes, and coin shows in hopes of finding similar errors, though none have been reported that match the combination of transitional bronze planchette, double die obverse, die clash, retained cud, and broad strike in a single specimen, which has led experts to conclude that the $7 million penny is truly one of a kind, an unrepeatable minting miracle whose value lies not just in its material composition, but in the remarkable convergence of improbable errors that it represents. And such convergence is astronomically rare because each error type already has low odds of occurrence, and the simultaneous presence of multiple independent errors on a single coin suggests an extraordinary and highly unusual sequence of failures in the minting process, possibly during a shift change, equipment test, or emergency production session where multiple systems were out of sync, or perhaps during a moment when foreign planchets were being run through for testing or fulfillment of international coinage contracts. And regardless of how it happened, what is clear is that this penny is not only rare, but it also serves as a reminder of how human error, mechanical failure, and a touch of randomness can come together to produce something utterly unique. And in a world where machines dominate production and quality control systems are more advanced than ever, the survival and escape of such a coin from the mint's rigorous safeguards makes it all the more remarkable, and the mystery surrounding how a bronze planchette from the early 1980s made it into 2015 D penny production remains one of the great unanswered questions in modern numismatics, leading to multiple theories, from misplaced inventory and rogue die test strikes to hypothetical sabotage or intentional preservation of rare blanks by mint insiders decades earlier. And while none of these theories have been proven, they add to the coin's mystique and make it a focal point for speculation, discussion, and deep dives into mint procedure archives, and as a result, the $7 million 2015 D penny has become an icon in the collecting world, often featured in magazines, podcasts, and online videos where it serves as both a cautionary tale of what can go wrong in a minting process and an inspiring example of what can be discovered by those who pay close attention. And beyond its technical attributes, the coin has cultural value as well, sparking interest in numismatics among new generations and reminding people that treasures are still out there, sometimes sitting unnoticed in coin jars, vending machine returns, or pocket change, waiting to be discovered by someone with the curiosity to take a closer look. And that's what makes the story of this penny so powerful, not just the errors or the price tag, but the way it connects people to history, to craftsmanship, and to the thrilling possibility that something so small can be worth so much. And in the end, this $7 million penny represents more than a rare mistake. It's a symbol of possibility, of discovery, and of the enduring magic that makes coin collecting one of the most fascinating and rewarding hobbies in the world.